Alright, hello fellow gamers. I am your host Brent Justice. Welcome to my gaming channel Justice Gaming, and I am now going to give my final F.E.A.R gameplay review. F.E.A.R, the game that came out in 2005. I have just played it in October of 2023 for my F.E.A.R-tober for 2023. And if you are watching this video in the future, this review came just after me playing the last video in my gameplay playthrough of the game. So this is extracted from that. Now, as I mentioned in my playthrough, I have played F.E.A.R 2005 when it originally came out in 2005-2006. So I had played this game previously. I had also seen other Let's Players do playthroughs of it, so I was very familiar with the game going in. I knew the storyline, I knew the plot, I knew what to expect, I even remembered many of the scenes. My goal for playing it here in October of 2023 is, as I said, to do something scary this October and have something that is a classic scary game in the gaming sphere, and that is, of course, F.E.A.R. First Encounter Assault Recon. So, I am now going to give my full review of it after playing it more recently now. I really enjoyed this game. I will say it was a little bit shorter than I originally first thought. I thought that there were maybe one or two more intervals left, when actually I was already at the last one. Pretty much when you walk into the vault, that's the end of the game. That's you're entering the end game content at that point. And I thought maybe there were a couple more things after that, but I guess not. So the game was a little bit shorter than I anticipated, but that is fine, perfectly fine. The game in 2005 was a good length for a game back then. There were a lot of empty spaces, and by that I mean it's the kind of game where it really is a first-person shooter kind of a game where you just kind of run through it really fast, and you're just kind of mowing down enemies along the way, and you're trying to find the path and go the correct way. There's not a lot of hidden areas. Every now and then you'll find maybe a little hidden space where you can go get a permanent health increase during that interval, or a reflex booster. There's little areas like that that they have thrown in, maybe a grate that you have to knock out, or a little secret tunnel you have to go through to find those couple of hidden things. But other than that, there's not a lot of hidden stuff. There's just med kits, maybe a unique weapon or two, and not even that many, to be honest with you. There's just the standard rocket launcher, and a cannon type weapon, and some other weapons there. There's really not a large assortment of weapon types in this game. They're just very simple. There's the classic shotgun if you want that. You got the pistol, you've got the rifles, you do have a submachine gun, and then you do have the rocket launcher. But the unique types that I actually liked the best were the nail gun, and that other one that's kind of like an energy weapon. It shoots a bolt of energy, and it will kill enemies in one shot and just leave their skeleton. Loved that weapon. That one was very effective against the big armored guys. Whether you came up with there were like two types of armored guys in this one, but either one, that weapon did really well against them, so that was nice to have, and I liked having that. And also you can get a lot of ammo on that weapon. I had quite a bit of ammo, like 50 or something. No, that was on the nail gun. I had like 50 on that one. I don't know, or 100. I don't know. I had a lot of ammo on both of those. I had a lot of ammo. So those were very useful in the game, those two weapons right there. If you have the nail gun and that energy weapon one, you're kind of set. And then a rifle, honestly. Either rifle. I like the, I don't know what rifle I was using it was called exactly, but I liked it a lot. The one I was using was kind of greenish color. That one worked really well. I liked that weapon a lot. That was kind of my mainstay weapon in the game, and that worked really well. Until you hit the end part where like the ghosts pop up, then a pistol is really good against the ghosts, so you don't like waste your ammo until the very end when they throw a lot of those ghosts at you, and then yeah, a rifle or even a machine gun would do really well, having like a big spray of, I guess a shotgun could work well, but really you have so many coming at you that you want to shoot real fast on those ghosts. So that's kind of my summary of the weapons in the game. This being an older game, it has the crosshair kind of just stuck in the middle, and you don't really, when you move your weapon or you try to look down sights, you know, it doesn't really follow up to the crosshairs with you. It's just kind of, it's that old style of shooting, and that took me a little bit of time to get used to. That used to be, games used to be like that a lot more. Lately, they have not been, so going back to that old school method of first-person shooters was a little jarring at first, to be honest with you. It took me a little bit of practice in relearning how to shoot in an FPS like that, but once you got into it, once you did it a few times, it became second nature, and yeah, I could get into that. Aiming was not very useful, though. Aiming just wasn't very useful. But I'll tell you what was useful was the bullet time, going into the slow-mo and turning on the slow motion ability or bullet time ability that your main character has. That one does come in handy quite a bit, and that was a unique thing to have. And during the time that this game came out in 2005, bullet time was a big feature because it had just come out. You know, the Matrix had, you know, basically introduced us to like bullet time. And then you had Max Payne. Max Payne had bullet time, and other games of that ilk all had the bullet time, and that was a big thing during this time period. So F.E.A.R having that was also added to the gameplay, and it actually was useful to have that bullet time in the shooting the ninja guys, the guys that are invisible. Somebody had left a comment in my video, one of my videos, and thank you so much for the comments, by the way. I do read every one of them. The comment was, use bullet time during the invisible ninja guys because they move so fast that the bullet time will slow it down and you can shoot them a lot easier. And that was definitely a key point. I definitely appreciated that. And that helped me once I encountered those guys again. That bullet time really helped. Bullet time also really helped in the drones that shoot lasers at you. That helped with that as well. So that did become quite useful, and even with the security guards and the other operative forces that you had to fight, going into bullet time and doing headshots on them definitely brought them down a lot faster. If you did the body shots, it wasn't as much, but if you try to get them right in the head, that worked really well. So that bullet time did come in handy there. Yeah, so a lot of good things to say about that. But let's move on. Let's talk about the plot now of the game. So F.E.A.R has a very gruesome and a very, I would say, deranged plot to it. The plot basically overall, and this is spoilers, so if you have not played the game or have not seen this game played yet, these are spoilers for the plot, but here they go. Basically, Alma Wade, who we find out at the end, Alma Wade, is Harlan Wade's daughter. She has psychic powers. Now, how she got those psychic powers, I don't think we ever really learned in this game. So I don't know how she got those psychic powers to begin with. But because she was born with, like, psychic powers, Harlan Wade, who was a terrible father, by the way, tortured her and did experiments on her and tried to use her DNA to create some kind of cloned army that could be controlled by psychic powers. But she was young. She was only like 8 years old at the time. It wasn't going to work. What he found, or what he decided, was that by putting her in a coma and waiting until she was old enough to give birth, like 15 years old, that she could have children, and those children would be born with those psychic abilities as well and have a stronger connection. And so that's what he did. Put her in a coma, I don't know how they, I will say, inseminated her. I don't know necessarily how that process worked, like who's the father. I don't know. I do know, though, that he combined his DNA with her. Yeah, that's pretty messed up. I don't know how, and I don't want to know how. And his DNA combined with hers made us, basically the point man, the guy who's playing, who we are playing, who's called the point man, and Paxton Fettel. So she gave birth to us. We were the prototypes, right? 1 and 2. And we're brothers in this. And that is how we have those magical abilities to slow down time. Paxton Fettel, obviously, is psychic as well. And they used him to control the cloned army. But Alma, in her rage, basically possessed Paxton and went on this killing spree to basically free her. The whole point is she wants to get out of this cage in the vault that they have her in. So she wants to escape. She uses Paxton to be able to do that. Why she doesn't ever affect us, I believe, is because she did not know that we were also her son. I don't think she knew until the very end, but maybe she did. I'm a little drawn on, did she know the whole time that we were also connected, or did she not know? Paxton knew. See, here's the reason why I say that. Paxton knew that we were connected. So if Paxton knew, then Alma would have to know also, right? Because Alma was possessing Paxton. But it sounded like at the end, I know who you are, when she said that. She didn't know or come to that realization until the end. So did she only discover it at the end, or did she know the whole time? I don't know the direction there on that. Good theories anyway. You can let me know what you think about that. The other question I have is, why did Paxton let us kill him at the end of this? Why did he sit there in that vision and let us shoot him in the head? Why did he let him do that? Why did he let us do that to him? Why? I don't know. That's another good question. In the comments, let me know what you think. Because he could have killed us in that instance, or he could have just escaped as well. So why? And then my next question is, who really killed Allison? Was it Alma that killed Allison? It seems like it to me that it was that it was Alma that killed Allison Wade, not Paxton. And by the way, we did find out Allison Wade was the sister of Alma Wade, another daughter of Harlan Wade. But why she wasn't psychic, we don't know. I guess she just wasn't psychic. Somehow Alma ended up psychic, but she didn't. So I don't know why there's that difference there. But I guess Alma killed Allison. Now, why did Alma want to kill Allison? She was no threat to her. So why did Alma want to kill her? Was she just jealous, maybe, of how... that's my theory, is she was just completely jealous of how well Harlan treated her sister, because she had a good life. Whereas Alma was tortured by Harlan, Allison was not tortured by Harlan. She had a good life. So maybe Alma was just jealous and killed her because of that. That's my theory on that. But Alma let Paxton die. Alma could have stopped that as well. So again, why did Paxton need to die? I don't know. But those are some of my thoughts and theories there on that. But obviously, we learned all of that. And then we had Norton Mapes, who was in on the whole thing as well. He was kind of sabotaging things, covering up for Project Origin, for Genevieve, who is in charge of Project Origin. She went into the vault at some point, I believe. Is she still alive? I actually can't remember. Is she still alive at the end of F.E.A.R, or is she dead? That's a good thing. Let me know in the comments. Is Genevieve still alive or dead? I think she might be dead by this point. For sure, Project Origin blew up at the end, which was under the Auburn City District, Auburn District. So Project Origin blew up at the end of F.E.A.R. It's gone. But because of all of this, Alma is set free. She is out there in the wild now, and she has this rage, right? She has a rage. She's technically older now. I actually don't know what her real age would be at this point. She's older than 15 at this point. Because we've grown up and Paxton grew up. So if she was 15 when she had us, then she's got to be in her upper 20s or something, or older, right? She's got to be older now. So she is now older, but she obviously can appear as whatever she wants to, because she's just... I don't actually know what she is. Is she dead or alive? She obviously has really, really, really crazy superpowers, psychic powers, and she's able to manifest ghosts to slow us down. And I guess that those were just ghosts to slow us down at the end there. I was trying to theorize and figure out where these ghosts figures came from. Like, what were they supposed to represent? And I guess they're just Alma materializing ghosts, so to slow us down, basically, to try to stop blowing up the place or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, I think that's what that was. But she is full of this rage now. She's just completely full of rage, and that's what's fueling her. And she's out in the open, and the fear was, when she got out into the open, she would just do a whole lot more, damage. And I believe that's what's going to happen. And in fact, I know from F.E.A.R 2 and F.E.A.R 3 that's what's going to happen, because I have played those games as well. So I kind of know where that's headed. But yeah, she is now out into the wild. And we saw at the very end there, though we were rescued and survived, like us, the point man, we survived in that helicopter. At the very end, she crawled up into the helicopter. Oof. Scary stuff. So what happens after that? I guess we need to play the next games, don't we? Figure all that out. But that's how they ended that. And then we had a little snippet at the end where there was a recorded message, and we heard that. So there's definitely more to this story, more to explore. There are DLCs connected with F.E.A.R as well. Extraction Point and Project Origin, I believe. So I would like to play those DLCs. So stay tuned to the channel if you would like to see those DLCs. I am going to play those DLCs on this channel. And in the future, I will probably end up playing F.E.A.R 2 and 3 as well. I don't know if I might wait until next October to do F.E.A.R 2. Do another F.E.A.R-tober kind of thing, but I'll play the DLCs for F.E.A.R here this month before this month is over. I'll go ahead and finish out all of the F.E.A.R 1 story content first. So that's my analysis of the story. Now let's talk a little bit about the graphics of the game, because I'm a graphics guy at heart. I'm a GPU guy. I love video cards. I love computer graphics, computer game graphics. I'm real into that. So this game came out in 2005. Now, for the time, this game had incredible graphics for the time. You have to consider the time it came out, and what made it unique and what made it stand out at the time were the lighting. It was the lighting. It was the shadows and the stark lighting that made it really stand out. And you'll see that a lot in the game. They use that as a F.E.A.R tactic. You will come down hallways in the office buildings or the factories or the warehouses or anywhere. You'll go down hallways and there's really dark corners that you just cannot see around. All you have are these spotlights that are like around, and you cannot see around those. You just can't see around them. They're completely dark. So you're always worried about something in the shadows. You're always worried about something creeping in the corners. And that's what makes this game creepy. It's that stark contrast between the lighted parts and the complete blackness, dark parts you cannot see. It's the parts you cannot see that scare you to death as you play this game, and it's so creepy. It has this creep factor to it that's just so fearful. Fearful is the best word. And they play with that a lot in the game, and they play with the lights a lot. And they also flicker the lights a lot. Off and on, off and on, the lights are flickering to give you that idea that they're about to go off. And then your flashlight will flicker too. Yes, you have a flashlight, but it has a limited time. It runs out, and then you have to let it recharge. And they use that to your advantage because they want to put you in darkness as much as possible. They want to put you in that darkness. They want you to live inside that darkness. And they also flicker the flashlight every now and then like it's about to go off. So they really use that to this game's advantage. They use that stark lighting. And that was one of the unique things about this game at the time it came out. It was that lighting was really good, and it had really, really stark shadows that just made it scary. Made it real scary. Also, for the time, the textures were pretty good quality. Now, today, they don't hold up. But for the time, the textures were good quality. Some are worse than others. But there are still some good-looking textures in this game, even this many years later. It still looks decent. It's a decent-looking game played now in 2023. It does, however, show its age in playing with a really high-end graphics card. I was playing with a GeForce RTX 4090. So, with a GeForce RTX 4090, I'm pretty much getting about 1,000 FPS in the game. The game and game engine was never meant to be played at frame rates that high. So the problem is the tick rate is a little off in the game, and the movement is a little off. There are times when the game will feel jerky, and that's not because of the frame rate. That's just because the game engine can't keep up with the render engine, basically. It's like two different things trying to do two different things there. One can't keep up with the other. It's just moving too fast for the game. So you'll end up getting these jerky scenarios where you go upstairs or you go around corners or whatever, and the game will like jerk. And you'll also get graphical glitches because it is such an old game engine at this point. There are graphical glitches. I encountered a lot of that, and mainly that was to do with flashing. When there was smoke or some of the lighting, it would flash quite a bit. It would flash white or it would flicker. And again, you just have to push through that because it's an old game. You just have to say, okay, it's going to do this. I'm going to live with it. I'm going to push through it and keep playing. Nothing I can do about it. And that's the way it is. And that's how I took it, and that's how I went about that. You're going to experience that, so that's fine. As for the fast frame rate, you could put a frame rate lock on the game. I do recommend that if you're going to play it on a fast video card today. Put a frame rate lock on it. Lock it to the refresh rate of your monitor. I have a 240 hertz monitor. Probably if I locked it to that refresh rate, it would be better, or even lower. I could lock it even lower. I am running G-Sync, so that's fine. But yeah, if you lock it to the refresh rate of your monitor, it would probably not do that jerkiness stuff. So that's probably something you would want to do on this game. Otherwise, feel free to run it at the highest graphics settings, but just know that there's going to be some graphical glitches every now and then as you play. You just have to push through that. Again, the graphics really make the game. They make it creepy, and so yeah, that's really one of those things. So now let's move on and talk about the creep factor of the game. The creep factor of the game is up there, and that's one of the reasons why I played this game here in October, what I'm calling my F.E.A.R.tober for 2023. The creepiness and scariness of this game is pretty darn good. You have Alma, who shows up out of nowhere, just will come around a corner or peek out around a corner or a window or whatever in the darkness. You turn around, poof, poof, there she is, boom, there she is, right? You also get that with Paxton Fettel. He will do that as well and kind of like ghostly disappear. That is creepy. And then you get these cutscenes where you walk into her like aura, and it cuts to a cutscene and you get a little bit of background about her giving birth or whatever, and these like fiery scenes where like everything's on fire and they're screaming and yelling and it's creepy, right? That is what makes the scariness in this game. It's those things that you want to play this game for, because you just do. Now, you want to play this game with the lights off. Absolutely play this game in the dark. Turn off all your lights in your room. Play this game in the dark. This game is meant to be played in the dark. You will have the best time. You will be scared. It will send a chill down your spine. You will get tingles. You will get tingles, and you want tingles in this game. You want to be tingled. You definitely want to be tingled. So the creepiness of this game and the scariness is good. The other games also have that, and I can talk about that more when I play the other games. We lose some of that later in the games, I think. I think F.E.A.R 2 is still pretty good at it. F.E.A.R 3, maybe not so much. I don't know. It's hard to remember. I need to go back and play F.E.A.R 2 and F.E.A.R 3. I think F.E.A.R 2 is still pretty good on the creepy stuff, but this game definitely the OG of it in the F.E.A.R series. So play this game with the lights off and enjoy that F.E.A.R creepiness of the game. I definitely enjoyed it myself, and I really am glad I played this game. And again, I have to give a big shout out and a big thanks to all the game developers, to the writers, to the graphics artists, and everything and everybody that went into making this game happen in its development. I know it's been years and years now, but just thank you so much to all of you guys, all the developers, to all of them for putting this game together, putting the work into it. You can tell it's a passion project. You can tell that everybody had fun making this game. This is one of those games in the past that, you know, people just really felt proud of when they made. You know, they were so proud of this game. So it really started a cool franchise, the F.E.A.R franchise. It really started off that really cool F.E.A.R franchise. So kudos to everybody who you know, made this game and put all that together. Just absolutely a whole lot of fun, and I enjoyed playing it once again here in 2023. Been so long, but I enjoyed playing it. And yeah, what else is there to say? I'm going to play the DLCs. Absolutely, we'll play the DLCs that are connected to this one. And in the future, I will play the other games as well, the other F.E.A.R games. So stay tuned on my channel. Subscribe if you would like to see those, because I will definitely be doing that in the future. But probably a year from now, I think I like this idea of doing the F.E.A.R games, at least for the short term, every October. We'll do what I call F.E.A.R-tober and do F.E.A.R 2 next October, but I will play the DLCs connected to this October, so yeah, that's going to come. I don't want to talk too much about that because I do want to get into that. I don't know if I've ever played the DLCs, to be honest with you. I might have. If I start getting into it and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this, and I guess I have, but I can't remember if I did or not. You know that? You know that? I just can't remember. So I guess I'll find out myself if I've ever played the DLCs or not once I start playing them. Anyway, that should be a lot of fun, and I'm highly looking forward to it. I also hope that all of you watching these videos had a whole bunch of fun watching them with me, or playing them with me, or watching along, or listening along, whatever you do with me as well. I just want to say thank you so much to everybody who did watch these videos, or left a comment, or left a like on the video. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate the support, and I appreciate the time that you gave me to sit with me, or to listen to me play through this game. I really do appreciate it. I wouldn't make these videos without you guys. I do it for you all to show off awesome games on my YouTube channel, and that's pretty much it. I do it for fun. I just want to have fun. I'm in the game to have fun, to explore a really cool storyline, and that's it. That's all I'm here for, to have fun, and I hope you all are having fun with me. So thank you all to everyone who watched. Thank you so much. Appreciate it so much. And yeah, hope you all continue to have a blessed day. Thank you, and stay tuned for the next one. All right, I am inserting this little slice of audio snippet here after the fact, after I have recorded my review for F.E.A.R, but I thought of a few more things that I wanted to slide on in here in my final review of F.E.A.R after the fact. So just a few more things that I thought of after I had recorded all of this. The first one is I want to go back and talk a little bit about the gameplay again. And the first thing I want to mention that I had just forgot to mention the first time was this game really has no big bad or final boss that you have to kill. You know, normally sometimes in games you have this big battle with like a final boss or something that's really difficult. The game alludes to the fact that you would by giving you a lot of heavy firing weapons toward the end of the game. For example, it gives you a couple of chances at a rocket launcher. And so that tends to make you believe that maybe you have to fight a really hard enemy that you're going to have a lot of firepower for. But that is actually not the case. So those weapons are just there for fun, just to have fun. You can use them on the regular enemies in the game and just have fun with it. But I just wanted to point out that there's no like really hard, tough enemy or final boss battle that you have to have in this game. You're really just fighting the operative soldiers and then some of Alma's ghosts. And that's pretty much it. So there's no big enemies. So that's a little bit unique. The thing that you're actually having to fight is just running out of the complex, running out of Project Origin as it's blowing up around you, and then just getting to that helicopter while the ghosts are being sent to you. That's pretty much the final battle or final thing. You don't have a big thing. So I just wanted to point that out about the gameplay because I thought about that. I thought, oh, there wasn't really a big bad. I didn't have to like fight Alma. I didn't have to take on some crazy superpowered entity at the end of the game. It was just running my way to the end and then having the whole thing literally blow up in your face. So I just wanted to point that out about the gameplay. But now let's switch over real quick to another snippet I wanted to make about the creepiness of the game. So I talked about the graphics and how that is creepy and the shadows and the lighting and all that, but I didn't talk about the audio and the sound, and I really wanted to point out the audio and the music that's playing throughout this game as you're playing the different levels of the game. There is this really creepy tone to the sounds and the audio. There's this really like chanting and almost sounds like birth pains, like Alma's birth pains. You're hearing her cries and her screams as she's giving birth, and that's woven into the music and the sound as you're playing. And there's this chanting that's going on too at the same time. And all of that gives an audio experience that is also creepy just as much as the visual experience. So listen with headphones, pay attention to that audio as you're playing or watching along. That audio creates that creepiness. And when you're secluded in your dark room playing F.E.A.R. and all you hear is that in your ears, it's creepy. So I wanted to point out the creepiness of the audio in combination with the creepiness of the visuals. So those two things there. And the last thing I wanted to bring up, or actually ask a question, why was Harlan Wade trying to bring Alma out of the vault? We know that was Paxton Fettle's deal. He was being used by Alma pretty much to bring her out. But why did Harlan Wade, why was he the final one to do it? You know, at the end there, we saw that it was him who brought Alma, took her out of that sphere. I guess she was like cryogenically frozen in that sphere or whatever. Brought her out into that room, and obviously that's where Alma got free and then killed Harlan. My question is, what was Harlan's motivation to bring her out of the sphere? Why did he bring her out? Was he also controlled, or was he had some other motivation that I'm just not aware of? I'm going to go back actually and listen to him talk again at the end there, because maybe that's a clue for why he's doing that. But I might have missed that. But let me know in the comments what your thoughts and ideas are on why Harlan, because he knows as much as anybody that bringing her out into the real world is going to be bad for everybody. Was his goal just to try to get rid of her, just to try to finally kill her? Because obviously he would have to know that would not be possible. So then what's his end game? What is his goal for bringing Alma out? that I questioned that there at the end. So yeah, that was the last little bit that I wanted to put in here in this review of F.E.A.R. Again, I recorded this little audio snippet after the fact that I recorded everything. I just thought, oh, there's a few more things I wanted to talk about. So I'm putting this in here, and now I'll figure out where this goes in the video itself. But if this is the last part of the video, then thank you for watching again, and stay tuned for the next one.